Hey everyone, before I get onto the interview, I just want to say we interviewed GaminMadness, a really great guy, really phenomenal individual, great talent. He's done a lot of great stuff in the industry. He himself is also still growing, maturing as a content developer and streamer. So really, really happy to interview him. I've known him for years and it's good to kind of just talk, just chit chat about the business. Make sure to follow him down below and I hope you guys enjoy the interview. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the Go Live podcast. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm so happy to have with me somebody here that I've actually known for quite a long period of time. I began to know him when I was big into YouTube, and we were both into a network at that point in time, because point at that time you can actually make money off YouTube. But I've known him since then. I've seen him gradually grow. I've seen him mature. I've seen him do fabulous things when it comes to his skills, and he's gotten better and better every single year I've gotten to know him, and I'm super happy to actually call him a friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you GaminMadness, because I am not going to try your name, because if I do, I'm going to completely butcher that thing. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Yeah, my real name is very hard to say, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
better
yeah.
to
It's
say my
literally,
username.
yeah, it's like literally the alphabet. Add on the alphabet again, and then there you go. There's his name. All I know is that there's Yoda in your name at one point, so I'm going to call you that. But anyways, so the
Oh my
reason I
god.
the reason I have you on here is because, as I've said, I've known you for quite a long period of time, and during the time since I've known you, I've seen you grow. We've actually had a lot of conversations about content in general, your channel, doing this, doing that, being scared to perform this, being scared to do that, and it's very common. A lot of people have that, and it's always good to have somebody there to be able to kind of talk to and bounce things off of. So first, before we begin all of our talk or conversation, I just want you to give a little small introduction. Who are you? Where you came from? Where did GaminMadness come from? What's your focus? Let me add a couple more questions on there so you can answer them. I was kidding. So just give us a little introduction of you.
Okay. This is weird, but okay. So my
Okay,
name
that's enough of
is.
that. No, I'm just kidding. Go
There you go. There you go. That's all you need to know. But no, I started making YouTube videos because I saw a video a YouTuber who made videos about games, and I thought like that's very cool. I want to do the same, and I started with a different concept, different mindset in my head, and then that really changed a lot. But my main goal was to just make videos, and I just still do that to this day. Usually videos about games. I love video games. I love playing them, and as I played them, I was thinking about what to make. Eventually, now I understand. Like, okay, I love talking about
Mm,
just giving my opinions, sharing what the games I'm playing, and just sharing my opinions, or even describing whatever's coming next. Talking about those. So I just love talking about and sharing opinions about video games. That's what I've been doing for so long. There's ups and downs, and I just deciding what to do, what not to do, and now I'm like at a stage where like okay, I know where to head towards, and so that's what I try to do most of the time. YouTube is my space. Always upload there on YouTube. I also have like other social media accounts that I upload, but YouTube has always been my biggest thing. So
yeah.
that's what I always do. It's
I,
just so fun for me.
and you first started off as a Let's Play player, right?
I did, yes, as a Let's Play player, which
I did too, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
yeah, it's
we
it's
we
just
both we
it's
both
just
started
time.
there, and then it just went downhill. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, yeah. It was a time when I watched the Rad Brad, the YouTuber. I watched him doing Let's Play. He still does Let's Play. It's been what, I don't know, 15 or so years, but he started so long ago in 2011 or something.
Mm,
And when I watched him 2015, I was like, that's so cool, and I wanted to do the exact same what he did. And obviously, a lot of people did at the time, like wanted to do Let's Plays
yeah.
because it was growing up. It was already there, but it was like a lot of people also wanted to try it as well. And I tried it. Obviously, it didn't work because I had a completely different expectation. If I make a video, a lot of people will watch it, a lot of
Yeah,
people will
yeah.
comment it. That was the idea. And like obviously, in a few weeks, I was like, nope, that's
No,
not
that's
what it is. No. So
it's
yeah,
really
that really changed.
yeah, it's really funny because like let's play videos because I started with them myself on YouTube. This is actually how we met. Part of Freedom, which was a network at that point in time. You could connect your YouTube to a certain network, and you get kind of some monetary compensation from them. Even though the videos that were the views that we were getting, you got like what, like 5-8 cents a month. It was hilarious because it was like, oh yeah, I'm making something, but it was still one of those things where we were able to meet on there. We did a lot of Let's Plays. I was also accustomed to Let's Plays. I watched my very first streamer I ever really watched do Let's Plays and got me into it was Sips, who was part of the Aux cast at that time. I think he still is. I'm not really sure. But I watched him. That's how I got into Let's Plays, and it became very apparent, very quick that because it was such an oversaturated market and even more saturated today, that it was one of these things where, yeah, it's fun to do. However, there's a lot of time you got to put into it, from the recording to the editing to the rendering to the uploading to the working on the thumbnails to all that fun stuff. And then when you get kind of no views or anything, it's kind of like, it's kind of weird. So, as a matter of fact, I actually have videos today that are still getting views. One of my most viewed videos today was a Let's Play from This Is the Police at the very ending of This Is the Police. And I'm like, how has this gotten over 10K views? I don't get this. But it's something that I haven't done in a very long time. And people are commenting on that video, and I'm like, dude, I haven't played this in 5 years. I have no fucking clue. All right, where you are, I don't know what options you got to pick. I don't know why it didn't work for you. Fuck off.
What happened in that game?
What happened in that? What was that game? I played it. So it's one of these things where I think you can agree we both have matured from there. Like, you have gotten more, and I want you to actually talk about this because you have gotten some fabulous names. As of late, you've been doing more interviews with voice actors. You've just recently gotten 2 more from the brand new God of War Ragnarok. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into more of the voice acting aspect from the gaming that you were doing previous to this? The gaming Let's Plays, not the gaming news, because I know you also do that. But how did you get more into the voice acting aspect to it?
Uh, from Let's Play, starting from Let's Play, I obviously that was the idea to go with Let's Play, but obviously it's the most obvious thing. Like, the views were not getting there. I was not getting enough views and not enough attention, and it's like playing a couple of hours a day to then editing it, which takes more couple of hours, and then so it's 4 hours of doing that to then uploading it. The next day, it's like 5 views.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just like it's
I've
very
had
much
that too. It's
demotivating.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
very much
demotivating.
demotivating.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's, so you just after a week or two, you're like, I'm probably not gonna do it, or you move on to something else. You think about the latest game that's gonna come out. I'm gonna do that. Let's play. That's gonna get more attention, but it
Mhm.
never does. So eventually, I tried to look for what can work, and I tried to do either Let's Play, the same concept Let's Play, but you know edited in such a way that it's very short. It's the most important moments or the funny moments, and then they'll compile those together. That sort of did okay. So I tried to experiment, but none of that worked. The Let's Play portion of it, none of that worked.
Mhm.
But later on, I was working with a company who just one of them gave me an idea like, hey, what about gaming news and stuff? So I did that a little bit. Started diving into that, and because then I started to know about a lot of news and stuff like that, and about what's happening next, what's coming up next, and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Articles and Reddit and all that stuff. But I was doing that, and that was great. And I wanted to do reviews and stuff because I'd always watched a few game reviews here and there. Some of them I really enjoyed, so I wanted those as well. But even that was, in some ways, was working, but in some ways it was not really. In the sense of, like, there was not. I felt like a lot of people were interested when they watched the video, and I always look at analytics in that case. They will click on it, and then eventually, immediately, in like 2 seconds, will leave, and you can see
Your
that
drop
graph
off
is
rate, right?
the
Your
drop off
impressions,
rate is
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just goes down all the way. So like it's like 10% of people watch the whole thing, or like, so why that happened. And I was thinking about why that always happened, but like I tried over and over again, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But then I was thinking again. I was went to my I have a diary. I would like write what I can do, what I can not,
That's
and then
great. Yeah.
yeah. I thought like maybe I should write everything down that I am interested in, and literally everything from graphic designing to just commentary, everything. And then eventually I was like, okay, you know what? I like the main gist of it is I like video games, and I like sharing opinions and all
Mhm.
that stuff. I like talking about video games. So I thought like let's broaden that about video games. Other than just game news and reviews, let's see what more can come across where I'm talking as well. So
Yeah.
I thought like, and interviews. I saw one or two interviews from some other game that recently dropped. I don't remember. I think it was Call of Duty or something, which I saw. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Maybe I would love to have that, but that is not possible.
Mhm.
That was in my head. That's not possible. How will I get it? But I eventually was trying to find a way on how to even like this year particularly. There was like I came to know about this new character that came to Apex Legends, and was like, this is maybe a good opportunity. I got to know that person's name, and I was like, that person is been into anime mostly, and then now is in the video game. And I'm like, how will I, even if I ask, what will I ask? I have
Mhm.
not done interviews that much. But then I eventually found like a place because you need to contact them, and
Yes,
I
of
had no
course.
idea how to contact them. Like, how will you get their email IDs or whatever? But then,
We're not creeping around here. He
yeah,
went
we
the
are not.
professional way of doing it.
I went the professional. Yeah, I was like, I cannot just find and just find a way to contact.
Yeah,
Because I did drop a message, but that is a social media message. Not everybody will be able to see it.
yeah.
So, but I was able to figure out a way to find like information about the agent or information about her manager, and then email them about like what if there's an opportunity, and then I got an opportunity from there about like, okay, yeah, that we can set up an interview, and I was very excited because somebody working in a video game, I can talk to them, so that was very 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 exciting. So that's where I started with that particular interview, and then I was like, if I can do this one interview, I can probably do more. And then I started sending a lot of emails for the other voice actors, and
Mhm.
that's where I landed the recent God of War Ragnarok, two different voice actors, which
So
I'm
who,
super
so
happy.
who have you interviewed already? From like, for example, I know it was
Um,
like from Overwatch and slash Apex. There's one. I'm bad with
yeah,
names. You may be much better than I am with names.
yeah. So the first actual interview I did was with Anjali Bhimani, who plays Symmetra in Overwatch 2. She's also played Rampart in Apex
Rampart. Yep.
Legends. So she was my first literally interview because I know her. We came to know each other like a couple of years back, I think, and she followed me on Instagram, and we have been chatting ever since. So I thought like that's the place. I know her, she knows me, so that's the place to start.
She
Then
even
Melly,
she even like actually was part of your game show that you even did.
yeah,
We'll
like
get
I
into that
think.
later on, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was also a part. That was pretty interesting. But yeah, that's the reason. Like we talked so much. I thought like I believe that she will be ready for this if she
Yeah.
will agree for this, and she did. So I was happy that she was the first one, and then from there I was like got a little confidence to go to Apex Legends because there's a new character literally
Yep.
dropped. So Melly Grant was the person who plays as Catalyst in Apex Legends as a new character that dropped. Then I tried to find God of War Ragnarok was about out there, and I was like, what if so I went for Daniel Bisutti, who played Freya in God of War and God of War Ragnarok, both the
Yep.
games. So that was super exciting. I was like my mind was blown that was said yes. So I was like, that was the one. Recently, with another God of War cast member was Adam J. Harrington, who played Sindri in
Century. Yeah.
both the God of War and God of War Ragnarok. So that was a pretty good one. I also got the chance to talk to Kimberly Sumure, who played Gamora from Marvel's
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy. So that was a very cool one. I that's so yeah. These are the five people who have so far right now. I'm trying to reach out to more and more, and it's just exciting to whenever I get to see yes, yeah, we can do it, and that gets me excited.
Now, the cool thing about that too is you are building your portfolio, and I think the
Yeah.
cool thing is the fact that those are your first five. That's a huge names for your first five, which is pretty impressive. So even if you're reaching out, utilize that. Say, I've interviewed these people, and just kind of showcase that portfolio because it's fantastic. But yeah, so going
Mhm.
back to another thing, yes, even though you've done gaming news, you've done you've done your own award show. Tell us about
Yeah.
that.
I am a big fan, and as I said, I'm a big fan of gaming. I'm a big fan of gaming. A lot of people like going to esports and stuff. I just like video games, single player games. Big fan. So when celebrations happens and anything like that happens, I love to watch it.
Mhm.
Documentaries and stuff like that. I love to watch it. So uh, the game award show that I had, I think it was like 2021, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. I don't remember even. I did that because I love the Game Awards. The Game Awards is a show which is like a celebration of video games. You have awards given to games, and I just love that idea. I was like, what if I do one? Because another content creator that I like, her name is Alana Pierce, who also is actually a writer in God of War Ragnarok. So she also hosted her own like kind of award show, an award show for accessibility, like literally just that was it. As I thought like, I mean, she's doing it. I had an idea of like, what if I do it just for the fun, just to
Yeah.
celebrate. There's nothing, I'm not giving anything away. I don't have anything physically to give, but just to celebrate, just to have a fun time. And so that was the idea, to have the golden game show as the name of it, where I just wanted to celebrate video games. But that is not the only thing I wanted to do. I thought like, yeah, celebration of video games is great, but I wanted whoever is watching it, I as a way of saying thanks for coming, I wanted to give them something more, other than just, hey, you guys are here. See, these games won, and by the way, those winners were decided based on a Google form. Somebody would I will just share the Google form, and they will just vote on which one
Yep.
they think they win.
I remember I
And
voted.
so I thought, like, yeah, there's a lot of categories, and I spread it around as much places, Facebook groups and WhatsApps and stuff like that, everywhere that I can. But I just didn't want it that. I thought like that would be kind of boring, and I wanted more. So I thought like, why not bring in some special guests into the show? So I thought of bringing Anjali Bhimani, the voice actor from Overwatch, to talk about voice acting, and I bring another content creator by the name Seti, who was switching towards content creation more. He was
Yep.
into streaming, but was switching towards content creation a lot more. So I thought, like, why not bring him in and talk about content creation? And then I also brought along another friend of mine that I know. He's actually from India, and he streams on Twitch. So his name is Supermad, and I thought like maybe he can give something about streaming. And the reason why I brought these three is because I thought like I gotta give something back to the people who are watching, who are fans of video games. And so these three things, they circle around video games. You stream around video games, you have voice acting in video games, you have content creation, you also do in video games. So I thought like the general idea can fix here, or can be an important part for people who are watching. So I
There's a
thought like
value.
bringing
There's a
them all
value
along,
you were
yeah,
bringing
it
them. Yeah.
can bring value,
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought like bringing them all in with those, talking about those things would probably help people out. So that was another part of the show that I wanted to have really as a much importance, and then the obviously Game Awards stuff as well. So these two together brought in an hour, I think, long, or 40 minutes
I think it
long
was about an
show.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
was
and
watching it at that time, and you put a lot of production
yeah,
work into it as well.
yeah,
From
yeah.
from a point of view of like Premiere and After Effects, the
Mm,
transitions and everything.
mm,
Like you did a great job. And this is one thing that I try to boast about you is that you do have. And for those of you not aware, I also run an e-federation which is called FWF. I brought Gaiman in as an editor for that because he just does great work, and I want to showcase that work if I possibly can. And from his simple gaming news videos to the special ones that he did for the Game Awards or anything. Like the guy shows quality over quantity, which is what I like.
climb up, or cross over. You can also boost your friend to reach higher places. And this is usually done in the most awkward ways.
And that comes from experience, but also failures. And throughout our journey as content creators, we've always had failures. And I try to instill this in anyone, and I try to really point out that it's okay to fail. I will be doing
Yeah.
my own video on this to shortly talking about that, but it's okay to fail. And I know you've gone through some failures, and the thing is, you've learned from them. So I want you to talk about some of them because I know you had a YouTube channel, which I think was like Fierce Vision, that you're still a little
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like we can all like even the fact that like our Let's Plays that was a failure. Like we both
Yeah.
have done
Big
it, and we
failure.
know that we failed from it. However, we got something from that as well. So,
Yeah.
what, in your opinion, what can you think of that has not really worked for you, but you took something from that?
I think, as you mentioned, Fierce Vision was a channel that I made, a secondary channel,
Yeah.
which was at the time I thought like, I have various interests, and I at the time I was thinking like, what should I do? And I was writing down interests, and I thought like, and I really like video editing. It's fun. At the time I was like, that is great. Video editing is fun. I should do more of that. And I was doing fan made trailers for video games, and because I just like whenever I saw a trailer, I just really got hyped about it because of the music and whatnot. So I thought like maybe that's it. Maybe that's the one. Maybe that I should try that out. And I did that, and I did that for a week or two. I think like at least for a month, and then later on I realized that I'm not able to get the ideas that I was able to get a month ago. Like
Mhm.
those ideas just were too flat. I just wanted to. I had. It was like I have to make a video because I didn't make anything. I should be making a video because this new game is coming
Yeah.
out. I should be making one, but I don't have an idea about it. I was not getting hyped for it. That's a creativity. In the creative field, you gotta have
You gotta have creativity.
something.
Yeah.
something in your head.
You gotta always keep going and going
Yeah,
and going. You know, you see a
you
lot of people
gotta.
being like, "Oh, I have like 3 weeks of ideas written down." You're being like, "I don't have one. I don't have one
Yeah.
day."
It was very hard. I was like that this new game is about to come out and I have no idea what to make. I think it
Mhm.
was Assassin's Creed Valhalla or something. Or I could be wrong. But like it was some game that I was like, I've no idea. I was just like there's nothing. I was not feeling anything. And I made a trailer and I made something about it. I didn't like it, but I posted it, and I was like, why am I posting it then? And eventually, I just didn't even had the idea of like maybe I should make another one. So that was like a big failure, but that actually allowed me to know a little bit more about sound design because I sound design is something in video editing that is very important at
Priority.
times. In terms of YouTube videos, maybe not so much, but there is some sort of sound design you utilize. But if you want to do something special sound design, filmmaking wise, even special video wise, sound design is important. So I because of these fan trailers, I was able to have the sound design stuff done. I watched one or two video before doing any of the fan trailers, but then when I was doing more fan trailers, I got that idea of like, oh, what should I do? What should I not do about sound design? So that really helped me out. In terms of, I think Let's Plays, even though it was a big failure, I should consider as a big failure. It was like a no, no, no. But
Oh no.
oh no, no. But the biggest thing I'll take away from that is that I got the confidence to talk in front of the camera,
Which is
which was
is an
not.
important one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important one. You can't. It's like when you start out, you will just not be good. It's quite obvious. You will just not sound right at all. You will just your presence will not be right
Yeah.
at the time. But you gotta go through that. You gotta go through like 150 videos, whatever. You gotta go through that. You gotta go through that phase, and eventually you will get better. So
Yep.
when I did all these videos, those Let's Play videos, that helped me out to, in front of the camera, I was able to talk to the camera without feeling like weird and closing in myself, like, and I was able to open up and just talk whatever I want to talk.
Mhm.
That the confidence was there, and so that built up a lot. I was able to talk to whatever topic I want to talk to. So that really helped me out a lot. I think overall these two I would say are the failures. But I mean, uh, uh, in terms of others, I think even the gaming news, I wouldn't say that is a failure, but even the gaming news, the way I was presenting it before,
I wasn't gonna say
initially
that
when I
was a
started out,
failure. I think those are
uh,
great.
oh, those, yeah.
What the
Now that
hell?
I'm doing right now, no. But like when I started out first time when I did the gaming news, I think I was not able to present it well.
Yeah.
I knew how to talk and all that stuff, but I was not able to present it. I felt like I'm more of a journalist who is just like literally. If you watch news, I feel like I was those guys, and I didn't want to be them.
Mhm.
Who's just there's like a teleprompter in front of them and they're just speaking,
Yeah.
and it's just like literally a journalist. I didn't want to be that, so that I felt like that was kind of missing, and I wanted to be more energetic or more different if possible. So that was like not exactly a failure but something to learn from, I think you can
Yeah,
say.
you
So
evolved
that
in
is,
it. So like because you're
yeah, I
still
evolved
doing
from
it,
that.
it's one of these things where regardless of even if you're still doing it, like look, I look at my way of coming up here. Like I did let's plays, I did little like videos, I did my own like for Sea of Thieves for example, I did my own thoughts and opinions, I did the
Yeah,
tutorials, I did the just the funny of those going into streaming. You're always going to mature your product. You're always going to change your product, and I think that's one thing you've done very good at. Like your gaming news, I've seen when you first started them, and I've seen what you are today, and the quality of them is phenomenal. And you get a lot of good
thank you.
details out there. And again, the thing with content development in general is you always need to be different, regardless of how it is. You have to always understand you have thousands, if not thousands upon thousands of people who are doing something similar. Gaming news, you may not have thousands of thousands of thousands, but you do have quite a few people who are doing it. So
Yeah,
what can set you apart? And I think that goes in general with streaming, with let's plays, with any type of content development. You always got to set yourself apart. Now, your comment also about being comfortable on the camera, that is 100% something very good to know because you got to build the ability to be charismatic on the camera. However, it's not doesn't mean that everyone always has to be on the camera. You have different
yeah.
type of streamers who can be better on the microphone than on the camera. You don't necessarily need the camera. You can put whatever picture you want on there or have no camera because there's a lot of people who do well without even any camera. But in general, know that streaming in itself is definitely a journey, and I think you've gone through that journey quite well. From
Yeah.
your editing, from like, so, like, do you have any projects coming up right now? Like, are you planning another award show, whether this year or next year? Like, what's for the future, Game and Madness?
I no, I'm not. No, I'm not exactly planning
Let's
for
put
an
you on the
award
spot
show.
right now. Tell me everything.
Yeah. I'm like, tell me everything. What do you have? Like, I have no plans. But no, I don't have any plans of doing an award show. Frankly, because I don't know what to exactly, because I really want to give something back, and I don't have an idea of what that can be.
Mm,
I just don't want it to be like the celebration of video games is great, but like there's already the Game Awards for that, and this is like uh people come in and fill up the form and that's it. I could do that. Like I have YouTube communities, I have Twitter. I can put up a poll and be like, "Oh, who won?"
yeah.
and people would vote and all that. So for that, yeah, is there. But like I wanted to do something more, and I didn't want to repeat what I did before, bring the same three people from same three careers and then talk about the same things.
Yep.
I didn't want to do that, so I had no idea. So I was like, it's better not to do that. However, as for the future of me, I think I would love to talk to more voice actors. That's something that got me really interested, because I always wanted to talk to people who have been in video games, who have worked in video games, and or who have been like making videos, even videos about video games, like for who are like big and you can say popular and whatnot. So I just wanted to talk to those guys, and it's really fun. And also, all as always, I love playing games. So I just want to make the review videos or the opinion videos, and the news is always going to be like in short form. So that those kind of videos are always going to go up there. So what those are the three types of videos that I want to push out, and
Yeah.
that's been the thing for me. And I feel like this is a great point, and I want to just push on with it and just kind of continue with this. What's gonna happen later on, I have no idea. But like right now, I just this is what in terms of content creation,
Mhm.
that's how I wanna approach at this point.
I think it's a great, like, actually, like, you have a specific niche there that not many people
Yeah,
always cover. You know what I mean? So I do feel if you just take the ball and run with it, I think you'll do a great job with it. Like I said, your first five have already been spectacular voice
yeah,
actors. You know what I mean? And the fact that you can reach a point where, like, now you want to you want to interview more people who are more just in the development of the game, which is actually more fantastic because you're not just focusing on the voice actor, which is also a niche. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I've seen a lot of your gaming news stuff, and yeah, they're perfect for short form content, and specifically
Mm,
nowadays in the market where YouTube Shorts has exploded. It's definitely
yeah.
something to keep going on there, and I think you'll do a great job with it. So now that we're going more into the professionalism of this, let's go into more of the personal level of this. How did you come up with Gaming Madness?
Oh man. Is there a story? Let me think. No, there's not exactly. It's a very boring story, really. They don't have a
All
very.
right,
Oh,
let's
this
move on
happened.
then. No, I'm kidding. Go.
Yeah, it's a very. It's one of those stories that you'll forget even after a minute after I said this.
Okay.
But like it's. I just was looking for a username at the point. Like I wanted to start a channel. I was looking for a username. I was not able to think of anything really spectacular, and I was like, it's gotta be. And I wanted to make videos about games, so I was like, it's gotta be something about games.
Mhm.
And gaming was like, okay, let's pick up gaming over there. And then I was like, okay, gaming, that's not fun. So I wanted to.
Oh shucks.
Oh, shit, that's too short. I was like, okay, gotta add something more. And I don't know why I landed up on Madness, but I landed up on Madness, and I wanted to join them together. And I felt like Gaming Madness felt, and I searched that term, and there was a few. I was like, there's a few. There was like a YouTube channel there, multiple YouTube channels with the names, and I was like, same name, and I was like, no, maybe I want to, I want to switch up a little bit something. So I just removed the G at the
Yeah,
very end
because
from
you're
gaming, and I just
gaming, like you're
Gaming
gaming
Madness,
madness.
just to make it a word, even though that's not a word, that's not a thing. I was like, yeah, why not? Like, it's really literally just for me to think about like a name that I can go with. And a lot of people even told me like later on, like that's not a good name. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go with it.
They just told you that's not a good
they
name.
just they just told me like it's not. You should have thought about a better name. I think you should have thought. I was like, yeah,
At the
but you know
time,
what? I'm gonna
though,
go.
yeah, at the time,
At the
though, it's kind of
time,
like, yeah, it's fine. It's just so
at the
it's okay
time,
how it
my
is.
brain was small. Yeah.
Well, now that YouTube also has a dedicated name identifier where you can do like at your game identifier, or your
Yeah,
name. It's like, would you
same.
consider
Yeah,
changing your name at some point in time?
I don't think so. Like I got.
Games for us.
Oh my god, that'd be horrible. But I think I love the name
Yeah.
Given Madness. I just went with it for. I use it everywhere. I use it in games and in every social media. I have the same name. Unfortunately, you have to add 97 after that. But like I have that, and then I even have my mobile cover which has Given Madness written on it. So like
Oh,
I just like the name. I just like the name now. So I feel like that's
exempting your professional email.
exact. We don't talk about that. Um,
Oh, I can't see you, but that's okay. Uh, so for those of you who don't know, also, like I said, I've known this guy for years, so I can joke around with this thing because, goddamn, that sounds very wrong. So I can joke around with your thing. All right. Oh, this has turned into a different type of episode, but that's okay. So
I don't know
we're
what
gonna.
we're talking about anymore.
This has turned weird. So obviously, when we're talking more personal stuff, is give us a little background on you, and also just obviously when it comes to, and this is something I try to instill in people who listen and watch, is routines has helped me tremendously when it comes to the streaming world. It is a very demanding world from both streaming and content development. So I say that when you're in a routine or you have some sort of routine where you're looking after yourself, you are concreting the longevity in the industry, because a lot of people get burned out quickly. A lot of people will stop abruptly. A lot of people will just can't do it anymore because they're tired, they're exhausted. You stream, you make content for like 13, 14 hours a day, you're going to feel that way. Sitting down
Yeah.
continuously, you're going to feel that way. So I call like one of my general questions whenever I have an interview. And again, you're my first interview on the Go Live podcast, so thank you very much. And actually, you were like the very first person I wanted to interview because we've spoken so much about
So much.
content, about and here's the thing about anyone listening as well. If you have someone that you know that you appreciate their opinion on or anything, don't feel bad to reach out. I think it's always a good thing if you hear the same shit over and over again. If you feel like you're
Yeah.
asking the same questions and you hear the same shit over again, that's okay. Because you know what? For me, there's only one person I ever listen to on podcasting. Podcasting is not a form of content that I digest because I personally am not a big fan of it. However, there's only one person in podcast I listen to, that's Gary Vanderchuk. If you guys don't know him, I'll link you his stuff in the actual description. Also, with GaminMadness, I will link his YouTube, his Twitter, and all that shit also in the description. So feel free to check him out and give him some love. But he's the only one that I will always listen to, and he is somebody who's very energetic. But he's always says, like, if I have to repeat myself 10,000 times, I do it because every single time I do so, it still instills motivation, energy. It gets people hyped up, it gets people wanting to go. So if you got to hear the same thing every single time to get motivated, that is okay. That's not a weakness. That's not a thing saying like, I can't believe I got to listen to this to feel motivated. That's fine. You're finding something that motivates you. Be proud of that. So like with me and Gaiman, we talk quite frequently. Yes, I've said a lot of things to him that's over and over again, and I keep telling him to stop apologizing. It's okay. I have no problem saying it. So like, it's just stop it. I'm gonna slap you when I meet you. But
Oh my
I
god.
think from a content point of view, it's always good to have somebody like that. So I think another thing is the routines. As I'm going back to routines, is do you have a routine in place where you can instill longevity for your product and for your mental health? Do you have something in place where you're taking care of yourself? I can
I would
don't worry,
say
I can edit the pause. It's okay.
actually I don't really have a routine really. Oh man, I think I'm one of those guys who just like who works a
Who
lot,
sits down, works, and just keeps going?
who works a
Yeah.
who keeps going. It's just and not. It's not like, oh, I have to work, man. It's not like that. Like I gotta work all the time. It's like I I make videos and I really enjoy that. Enjoy making it. I remember one time I thought like I should take a break because I felt like I was tired every day and I want to take that break. And I thought like eventually, like one point, there was another point I really thought like, okay, maybe I should just take a break from making videos. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll come back later. I was like in a 4 or 5 days I just missed making videos. Like I just missed it, and I was like, something is. I felt like something just went away. Like a very big part of me just gone. Like I felt like very empty. So I was like, I just gotta making videos is. I just realized that making videos is so fun for me. But like it's every day. Like I just. It's just it's so fun. I always tell my sister and my mom and everything like I if I had the opportunity to just work on videos from morning till night, I'll do that. Like
Mhm.
every day. Like I have videos to work on, I'll do it. Like it's just one of those things. But I don't have a routine per se where okay, I'll work on videos till this time and this from this to this I'll take a break and then
Yeah.
I'll come back to do something else. I don't have that because I have like if I have like 3 videos to work on, I'll just work on those 3 videos. If I have time, I will then research on what to make next, or I will just go ahead and see what's happening in Twitter about gaming and what people are talking, and
Yeah.
maybe I Reddit and I go to some articles and I see what's happening there with what people or what the new articles are about, and just try to, or maybe this is what I need to do right now. Recently, for example, I'm trying to email more voice actors and everybody, so I just keep on doing that, and then I also have make those small cuts and put it out on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts, and all that stuff. So I do that as well. So don't really have that routine, and because of
Mhm.
it, I actually do get burned out a little bit. And I have that problem. Like I don't realize it. I feel like, oh, it's fine. I can still go for it. I think I'm tired, and it's okay. I can still go a little bit more. That's tired because I've not slept.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like the I wake up and in middle of the day I have slept enough and I still feel tired. And it's just like
Yeah. Like
maybe I'm
what
just
time is it there right now? Out of curiosity.
well, it's fine.
No.
It's late. It's 1 a.m.
Oh
He's
my
making me stay
god,
awake.
man. Oh
Um,
well, thank you anyways for keep staying up and doing the interview. I do appreciate that. I'll try not to take too much of your time, but yeah, like it is one of these things where I do instill in people routine is key, specifically for longevity. You're a young guy, so like you're like in your what your early 20s, so you know fuck
yeah.
you, but it's good you've got the energy right now. So like for
Uh,
me, because like it's completely black and white here. Where he's early 20s, I'm 37 years old, so I don't have the energy that he does. So like that's why for me, and I think for me, and the reason why I try to instill this is because I've learned quite a bit when it comes to content development and seeing friends and people like who I'm close with. For example, one of my best friends does this for a living. That's his full-time job. However, I've seen him get burned out so many times because he just goes ham continuously instead of
yeah.
taking the opportunity to get a routine. You wake up in the morning, try to do this, try to do that, work on content for these amount of hours a day, go into streaming if you can for XX, but have like dedicated days off for yourself. And I think it's extremely important. And I think that's actually one thing that I would like to try to instill in people is to have some type of form, some even if it's a little routine, an hour or two. Like when I give you guys specific task to do at the end of streams, it's not because I want you to just do stuff because I don't think you guys are doing it. I'm doing it to instill a routine concept as you progress throughout the next week until the next episode comes out. And if it works for you and there's benefit from it, continue it. You know what I mean? But that's the main gist of why I recommend that. And that's the same thing with gaming. You know, like I'd like to see you have a little bit more of a routine, but I know that you are dedicated. Like I said, you put quality in your work, you put quality in what you do, and I know you appreciate what you do and you love what you do, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your gaming news, are you because you're everything's going on your GaminMadness YouTube, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
Everything.
have you have all your socials and everything.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yeah. All of
do
that.
do you spread all of that like one clip throughout all your socials? Do you take into
Uh,
consideration your viewership or anything, or like do you take into consideration your audience?
um. So I post
The hard
especially the game
questions
news stuff.
now.
Yeah, the hard questions. I it's so hard to answer these. But I post on YouTube and Instagram mostly, and probably on Twitter nowadays. I'm also posting. But I in YouTube, I know like YouTube Shorts is quite easy. Like like whatever I post, I've seen the results in terms of not just views, but also in terms of like I do go to analytics and see retention. Sometimes even see the comments, people are saying something about it, which means they're watching and stuff. And I post. I what I tend to do is I do make a short. I do render it, and I use the same short on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
Uh, and post it there, or short form, post it there as reels, and I see how it performs. And some of it does very well. Like for example, there's a video of a game news about Iron Man game, which is not announced, and so I made that video, and YouTube,
Wasn't
and
that like a months ago? Has that
yeah, it
not
was a
been
few months
announced
ago.
yet?
It was, yeah, at the
Oh
time
my
it was not
god.
announced yet. So the EA was supposed to do it, and it was not announced. So I made a video. It was a rumor thing, and I put it on YouTube, and it did good, but it did decent. And then on Instagram, it did much better than YouTube. It just went to like a lot of people commented on it. Just got to 4,000 views, and like what the hell? And so a lot of people commented on it. I saw its analytics as well. So
Hmm.
I thought like maybe some of the bigger games, like the games which have bigger names. Marvel was it? It was Iron Man, Marvel. So I thought
Yeah,
like that's
Marvel.
the reason why maybe. So like it's more obviously it's pop culture a little bit more. So I thought like maybe some of the games that are very well known, I think those will do a little bit better. So it's like always a experiment, trial and error. I think you can say. But whatever I make in terms of YouTube for the YouTube short, because I specifically make for the YouTube short, and then I make that as same video goes to on Instagram, on Twitter even, sometimes even on Twitter, because it's when you watch Twitter, it's a square format, and I see that everybody who is watching a video, if in mobile or on web, is you watch a video which is basically in a square. You don't click on it and open it up. So if you put out a kind of a short or like a 1080 by 1920 9:16 format video, which is like in the form of a mobile like this
Yep.
long. If you post it on Twitter, it might be a little bit odd to see, maybe. So what I do is I put it, render it in a square format, 1:1. So when anybody watch it, so they can see the whole, like full top to bottom, whatever is happening, and so use that as
I
even
never even thought of that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I thought that
you've
it's
taught me
easier.
something right there. Never even thought of 1-to-1 for Twitter. Because it's true, yeah, because their
Yeah.
preview is
The
cut.
preview is that
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
preview
you're
is
right.
cut. And even in Instagram, there's two things, like reels is one, but then if you scroll, normally if somebody's scrolling Instagram, the preview will be a square format,
Mm.
again, that focuses on there. So sometimes I even, like for example, these interview videos, there's small cuts that I make, small specific topics that these guys talked about, made them into a small video, and I made them into a square format, so everything is situated in a square, so nobody has to, when they're scrolling and they see it, they watch it, and they don't have to click on it to expand it even more.
Yeah, yeah.
So they just watch it and see it and whatever whatnot. And I also add some captions, subtitles, you can say, like for whatever they're saying, so that
Oh, yeah, those are
nobody
fun.
has to even. Yeah, those are
Those are fun
those are so
and they
fun
take
to
a
make.
long time to do.
Takes so long to do, my god. But yeah, that's why like I try to edit it in 1 minute so that I don't have to write too much.
Yeah,
So, but like that subtitle is helpful because not everybody watch with the sound on. They sometimes you will
it's true.
watch it just silently, so they will read it and they will understand what's happening.
It's true.
So that's the two things that I do. I don't do not do that. Sometimes I don't do that on shorts, but I've not now been doing that on shorts too. So so now whatever I do on shorts is just easily on Instagram. But on Twitter, I just Twitter and Instagram as well. Sometimes I do it on Square as
So
well,
you pretty much
just to make it
you
better.
pretty much render in two sizes, the standard
In two
9:16 and then
sizes,
1-to-1.
yeah,
Oh,
one to
that's
one two, yeah,
very good. I didn't even take that into consideration, to be honest with you. The 1-to-1.
yeah.
That's actually a very smart idea. But anyways, then the interview is going to come to an end now. But what I want to do is I want you to give your tip to anyone who's listening. Obviously, whether they're streamers, whether they're content creators, or not even content creators or streamers, but just in general people. What would be your number one tip to a person watching right now when it comes to content development and real life?
Oh,
I'm gonna
real
put you.
life,
I'm gonna put you on
nothing.
the spot here. Oh,
Real
this
life,
is. I see the interview portions are good because I don't have to make these up.
real life, nothing. No,
Based on what you've learned, because the thing is, everyone's gonna go through something different.
yeah,
And you know, it's one of these things where it's always good to get somebody else's opinion. And just kind of like, you know, like I said, the 1-to-1. I didn't even know about that. That was actually very new for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually very
yeah,
ingenious. As someone who doesn't, I try not to post too much on Twitter now because I've noticed that Twitter videos, for me, the algorithms don't usually work out best. The only time they work out best if I do like a self-help video type of concept. but
Yeah.
otherwise they don't really do too tremendously, right? So that's why I always tell to focus on the audience base, because I find one audience will be more inclined to watch something. Like I think the YouTube and Instagram thing that you did is very smart, because those can be intermingled a little bit. I
Yeah.
find Twitter is a little bit more different. But
It
yeah,
is.
no. So what would your tips be to a content developer from both a business and a personal point of view?
Uh, Development. I think a lot of people are scared to experiment.
Oh,
Uh,
you said
I think
you're saying that. Oh, okay. I like
yeah, because
this.
I was
You
scared of
are, yeah.
experimenting
Mm,
completely. Like I was like, oh, this is because I thought like, okay, gaming in terms of gaming, it's gotta be the moments. It's gotta be the specific set.
yeah.
Those are the videos. Those I can. But it's important to discover first on what other areas are, to discover what other things that people do,
Yeah.
because YouTube, you have like so many people making videos, but there's specific amount of people who are making videos that are good, that people watch. So if you discover those and then you think about like, are you enjoying them, is that something that you want to create? You just discover it, and then if you think that is something of interest, then you try it. And if you try it few times and then you see it, like even like not once or twice, even because I also thought like, okay, I'm gonna try once or twice and it's gonna, if I will know, but it's not once or twice. I feel like you have to try at least for a few weeks, and
Hmm.
then you will see the results of like, is it something that you are liking? Is it something that actually is helping your channel in any way, shape, or form? Is it helping? If it is helping, that's great. If you are having fun, then you always have like ways to improve.
It's a
So I
very
think
keen one. Yeah.
experimentation is very, I think it's very important. You always have to experiment. I think if anybody who is even at a top level, like he has like millions of subscribers, I think even they have to experiment at some point.
Because
Even
they get too
they have to go
comfy.
for it.
They get too comfy
They get too
eventually. But then
comfy,
it
and it's
then it can
sometimes, yeah,
and then it can get
it can
kind of
decline.
stale in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
So
can become stale. So I think even they have to experiment, and that's why, for example, I think the best example I would say, it's not, it's going to be PewDiePie, and the reason I want to give him his
I was
example,
thinking that
because
exact same thing. I was thinking the
yeah,
exact same
it's
thing.
just because the guy has been in gaming for long. He has switched
Yes.
out
Yeah.
from to a different, but he did that. He switched it because he thought that's what he likes and what he enjoys,
Mm.
and when he makes it, that's what people come in when they watch it. They enjoy it, whatever it is. So he kept on switching so much, and that's why he was, for now, until like not anymore, but like the number one, the highest
Yeah.
subscriber YouTube channel
Yeah.
for a long time. The reason is because he switched, he
Yeah.
changed what he wanted, what he thought he was comfortable with. So I think even he did it. So I think it's very important that everybody should do it if some things are not working out. That's the side of, in terms of making content and stuff. In terms of the other side, personal, on a personal level, uh, I don't know. I mean, I here's the thing. I do tend to work hard a lot. I do tend to just do stuff, like work on things every single time. Um, but yeah, I think in the end, I know I don't do it, and I want to do it. And that is like obviously having that some sort of routine over there.
Mm.
I I I don't have a set routine exactly, but I do know that it's important to have those breaks. I do know it's important to have in a day. You have to have like a couple of hours where you're not sitting here, where you can just either walk or you just go outside,
Yeah.
just stay, a breath. You need to breathe. You need to go outside and you do whatever, but you have to have those gaps where you're not working. So I think that is something that is definitely needed, and obviously, again, something that I'm also trying to do is taking breaks if possible. If you feel like you're not feeling that well, or you're too tired or you don't have the motivation, just take even a day
Yeah. Yeah.
break. So it's just, that's, I think that's, those are the things that's it's gonna help.
Yeah, it's the most important things. And also, I love the fact that the guy is whistling at 1 a.m. there. What the hell? Why do they
Yeah,
whistle so late at night, man? I don't get it.
I don't know. He just wants. There's a girl here. I don't know what he wants. But
Yeah, not to mention, now the one thing for you also to mention, because you get this quite frequently, and I think it's just something that eventually you'll cave and you'll show us. But the fake accent. What's with the fake accent?
yeah, this is all fake, by the way.
I
All
don't
of it's
know.
fake.
So just a little
Got a
backstory,
degree over
so
there.
people are not like, this guy kind of rude. No, no, no. He keeps getting, for some reason, comments claiming that his accent is fake. It
Yeah,
is the most backwards thing ever, in my opinion.
it
It's
is.
so odd. So it's just
It is.
it's kind of funny. Why did that come up? Like, why do they people think you're doing a fake accent?
So the thing is, like, obviously, I'm from India.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know, I'm from India. So the thing is, um,
Hence why
I
it's
think the
1
best
a.m. there.
example is that's one of them. The best example is like when somebody from India speaks, his tone or his accent is different than an American. Very different. Obviously, their
Of
English,
course.
our English will be very different. The way we speak, the way we pronounce things. So so when anybody hears an Indian speaking, and he or she doesn't hear the typical way of how an Indian speaks, and for me, for example, the way I speak is kind of like a mix of how we speak in here in India, and then like a little bit of American taste because
Yeah.
I obviously watch videos and
Yeah.
it's all kind of in my head, so I kind of like took that a little bit. So it's kind of a mix. So like when anybody else hears it, they're like, "Oh, he must be faking it because he wanted to be like a American, a guy who speaks in American tone.
Oh my
So he must
god.
be faking it."
So this is
So
how you're
that's the
stealing views, I see. It's not the cleavage with you, it's the fake accent. Oh my god.
yeah,
I
I
knew
don't
it.
have that, so gotta go with the fake accent thing.
I knew it. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Game Madness so much for coming on today. I really do appreciate it. If you guys would like to follow him, you'd like to actually see what he does, please do me a favor. Make sure to check the description down below. You'll find him on YouTube at GaminMadness. You'll find him on Twitch at GaminMadness. You'll find him on Twitter at GaminMadness. Pretty simple. You guys will also see the tags are below his name in the overlay here. Make sure to give him a follow. Make sure to send questions his way. Make sure to send nudes his way too. You never know what he likes. But I appreciate you being on here, brother, and hopefully we can do this again. Much love to you, and say your goodbyes. Promote yourself. Do what it is you need to do. Promote.
Well, you have already done all of it.
Promote
anyway,
better.
but yes. But no, I do make videos about all these video games, whatever news coming out, anything new that's coming out, and anything new that's going to come out. I just love talking about those. Make those videos, reviews, and even the interviews that's been coming out. So those are the videos that you will be expecting from my YouTube channel. And Twitter, I just love, come along. I just chat about everything that's coming up. Literally, it's all related to video games, but it's just like conversations, all of it. So you can follow me there, get to know about like what's happening, what's up next. But yeah, in terms of content, that's what you see. But it also goes on Instagram and on Twitter as well. So I post it over there in short format so that it's easier for you to know what's happening in the world of gaming. So that's where you find me.
And you guys can find that all in the description below. Thank you so much again, Gaming. Much appreciated, and I hope you have a great day, brother. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do me a favor. If you're listening on any type of audio format, whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, do us a favor. Leave us a like. Follow the channel. Follow the podcast. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, do me a favor. Leave a like and a sub to the channel. It always helps out tremendously. Much love to every single one of you, and I appreciate you guys watching and taking the time to learn a little bit about Gaming Madness. If you guys like these episodes where I do interviews, do me a favor. Let me know some people you would be interested in me interviewing, whether it's content developers, streamers, or just in general people who have their own entrepreneurship on the side, their businesses. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure to try to reach out to them. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. And for me, to you, make sure to heal. Please heal and go live.